Hello everyone, welcome back to Voices of Bharat channel. Thank you for all your love to this channel. Please keep loving and keep helping us grow together. Recently what I have noticed is that lot of my quite a few of my YouTube shorts getting blocked. Initially I used to get a lot of views by God's grace in shorts, uh, but nowadays what's happening is either by AI tools, I think, because multiple music labels are blocking my YouTube shorts, saying having copyright claims on them, and these are mostly, like, all of them are actually Tagore songs. So it's in public domain. Tagore's 100 years of copyright is also not there anymore, and the copyright actually used to belong to Tagore only. No one else can have copyright claim on that, and the songs are being sung in my own voice, so which music label can actually claim that? That's very, in a way, if I say, it's very disgusting. And fine, after these copyright blocks, I dispute that, and when the dispute is removed, the sad part is YouTube further does not push that particular short or video into the algorithm, so it does not reach the people it is supposed to reach. So that is sad. I don't really know what's the workaround right now, but I'm hoping that we will find some way out, because we are in a journey to do song analysis of Tagore songs. And today, you just saw me, I fumbled over the word while saying song analysis. I said poetry. I was about to say poetry analysis. Now you know why so, because today it is 7th June when I am recording this, and 7th June was the day for the very first time, it was my first ever Poetry Masterclass that I hosted, and there were quite a few people who had registered and joined, and we really had a great live session, 2 hour live session on poetry, deep poetry analysis, deep reading. It was like art, it was named as Art of Discernment, Healing Through Poetry. So I really enjoyed, everyone enjoyed by God's grace, and that is why you see me actually uttering that word. But what I bring in from there today for you is, I was thinking about what should be, it's always nice to start a particular class or session with a prayer. So I was thinking which particular prayer would best suit this event, and by God's grace, it struck me with a song by Tagore. Now it is again as unique as Poetry Masterclass is. This idea is also very unique, I feel, because in a poetry session, you are thinking about a song to start with as a prayer. That's something really I don't think anyone would have thought in such a way. But yeah, it came so organically by God's grace, and that is why I decided that let's do that particular song as a prayer. And I sang a couple of lines from that song in the very start as a prayer of my masterclass today. So I felt that why not that song only today we do for the song analysis. It's a very beautiful song, and it is so relevant to what I am trying to do with my poetry initiatives also. It's uh, though you have to have a particular format and way of approaching things with people in general when you are trying to do work around such niche skills, but at the same time, it is the sheer love for poetry, the art form, that brings me into doing all these things, right? um, so it becomes very special in that sense. And this particular song actually talks a lot about that feeling that I have right now about these initiatives. So this song I am singing today from my old notebook. I mean, that's the notebook that my music teacher used to teach me from. Uh, and the song was taught to me in the year 1995 when I was very small. So let's begin. And it's again a Puja Parjay song. And Puja Parjay song, which means a devotional song, okay? But you will see in this song how beautifully Tagore approaches devotional songs from different, from different places. The context is always the setting is very different. Like you might feel like, okay, devotional theme already done. How many times we would do? Like if someone gives you a homework or classwork to write on the devotional theme, how many times you would like to write on it? You think I have already vented out all my emotions and feelings around that particular theme. Now what extra do I write? But Tagore is such a person. The number of times, the number of artworks that he has done around particular themes is so many, and that gives you an entire worldview of how to look at a particular singular thing also in a plural way. So that is how magical his work is. Let's get into the song. The song is called, you already saw in the title, I suppose. It's called Ki Gabo Ami Ki Shunabo. Let's start. Ki Gabo Ami Ki Shunabo Aji Anundu Dhami. Ki Gabo Ami Ki Shunabo Aji Anundu Dhami. Purobashi Jani এনেছি ডেকে তোমার অমৃত নামে। কি গাবো আমি, কি শোনাবো আজি আনন্দ ধামে। কেমনে বর্ণিব তোমার রচনা, কেমনে রটিব তোমার করুণা, কেমনে বর্ণিব তোমার রচনা, কেমনে রটিব তোমার করুণা, কেমনে গলাবো হৃদয় প্রাণ তোমার মধুর প্রেমে। কি গাবো আমি, কি শোনাবো আজি আনন্দ ধামে। তব নাম লয়ে চন্দ্র তারা অসীম শূন্যে ধাইছে। রবি হতে গ্রহে গ্রহিছে প্রেম, গ্রহ হতে গ্রহে ছাইছে। তব নাম লয়ে চন্দ্র তারা অসীম শূন্যে ধাইছে। রবি হতে গ্রহে ঝরিছে প্রেম, গ্রহ হতে গ্রহে ছাইছে। অসীম আকাশ নীল শত দল তোমার কিরণে সদা ঢলো ঢলো। অসীম আকাশ নীল শত দল তোমার কিরণে সদা ঢলো ঢলো। তোমার অমৃত সাগর মাঝারে ভাসিছে অবিরামে, কি গাবো আমি, কি শুনাবো আজি আনন্দ ধামে। পুরবাসী জনে এনেছি ডেকে তোমার অমৃত নামে, কি গাবো আমি, কি শুনাবো আজি আনন্দ ধামে। So apologies for the, at the very beginning, I want to apologize for any unintended mistakes in the song, and also in my past videos, the unintended mistakes that I might have done. So I never intend to make any deliberate mistakes, either in terms of pronunciation or in notation or in lyrics, anywhere. I would tell you one thing before I get deep into the song. Whenever I plan to do these videos, I do not prepare a lot. The reason being, when you uh, think of preparing a lot, when you think of, making it perfect, you are actually lost with the, um, you are actually stuck in the process of making it perfect. And while that is one thing, that does not mean that you should not pursue perfection. You should. But when you are already having a 9 to 5 job, I won't say that it's not a 9 to 5, we almost have 12-hour kind of a job where you are completely drained all the week into chasing goals and targets and all of that, so much of work pressure. You are left with really literally very little amount of time to do something of this sort. So every minute really counts. And when, if you spend your energy in practicing something, in trying to perfect all of that, what I'm going to speak about, do I know all of the things that I'm going to speak about? Am I very correct in singing all the things that I'm going to sing, the entire song and all of that? I do a little kind of a brush up, but I do not go into the, into the finer aspects of it as usually I used to earlier go to, because I do not want to lose the moment. I do not want to lose the time, because time has become so precious for me now while working in an IT sector. You know, in these times, especially very challenging times. So that is why you will see more of imperfections in my performances. So but having said that, that's not even an excuse also at the same time. um, when I will, I had told in my previous video also that I wish to do recordings, um, song recordings for Spotify with Tagore songs, some big list of my favorites. That time I'm going to try to make very sure that everything is perfect to my level best. But this time I excuse myself, I forgive myself with these mistakes, because yes, I'm running short of time, and I cannot, like, the pronunciation mistake, it cannot even be like, I'm shooting this, how do I shoot these videos? I just sit from start till end almost without any break. I shoot it in one shot. So there's no retake. Even if am making any mistake, even if my voice is cracking somewhere, I'm not re-recording that part. Even if you think that Shonali is cracking up, Shonali doesn't sound great, Shonali has made a mistake this place, Shonali has mispronounced that particular word, Shonali has picked a wrong word in this lyrics. Even if you spot me doing all of that, still I continue singing because the only reason is what I already said, time. Having said that, I do not mean to propagate any mistakes further. Hence, I want to really own up what I am doing right now. So I am thinking of, sharing with you the link of the songs to refer to the correct lyrics and the notation, everything, the pronunciation and all of that. I'll start adding those in the pinned comment so that you can refer to if you really want to learn that particular song. You do not learn from my mistakes, like you do not start learning the wrong ones. That's not what we want to do, right? So we will do like that. Now this is the disclaimer that I have given you. Why? Because while singing I noticed I fumbled in quite a places, and there's nothing wrong in accepting one's mistakes. Owning up is the sign of strength. So I want to do that, and that is what I stand for. So, and I apologize for that. But I have a valid reason also for that. So having said that, no further explanation, I'm getting into the song. Now, ki Gabo Ami Ki Shunabo, Aji Anando Thame. The very first line it talks about, what do I sing and what do I make you listen to in such a great day, in such a happy place today. So Anando Dham is a happy place, and the the first person who is actually telling this song, the narrator, the first person, is asking someone as the second person. So this someone is, let's find out who that someone is. But ki Gabo Ami Ki Shunabo, Aji Anando Thame. So this performer or the artist, whoever is he, the narrator is kind of expressing his, bewilderment, or expressing his or her state of confusion, or state of not being, that's a mosquito, my god. So not being, people have cats in their videos, I have mosquitoes in my videos. So so he or she, the artist, is not sure what to perform on that particular happy day. পুরবাসী জনে এনেছি ডেকে তোমারও অমৃত নামে. Now these two lines are the best lines for me, which is why actually I placed this as a prayer song in my poetry masterclass today. পুরবাসী জনে, meaning all the people that I know in my neighborhood, I have invited them all. পুরবাসী জনে এনেছি ডেকে, I have invited them all, I have brought them in, not just have invited them, I have, like, they have also arrived. Tomaro omrito name. Oh my god, just give me a moment, let me try to get rid of that mosquito. I took a pause, but of no use, because the mosquito just hid itself, and probably it would again reappear when I'm just busy explaining the song. But let's not get distracted. So পুরবাসী জনে এনেছি ডেকে তোমারও অমৃত নামে. So I have invited them all, I have brought them all in your nectar like name, in your divine name. Omrit is nectar, okay? So it is actually hinting towards divinity only. Only divine things are like eternal things, are like nectar like things. So he is using that particular word omrit to hint towards that. So in your name I have actually invited them all, brought them all. Now I am confused, what do I sing, what do I perform in such a happy day? Do you understand that emotion? Like, you want to, as an artist, you want to do something, you want to do your best, but it's not for you that you want to do that. It's in the name of someone bigger than you as an artist. It's not you as something big that you are trying to project. It is something bigger than you that is you are trying to, showcase. That is what you are trying to, base your art on. And you are so excited about it. Now, in that excitement, you are lost what you are going to perform to all of them, right? কেমনে বর্ণিব তোমারও রচনা, কেমনে রটিব তোমারও করুণা. I love, I love such expressions of Tagore. I'm so happy, my mother introduced me to Tagore songs when I was a little child. It could not have been better. She could not have given me a better companion than him in my childhood. কেমনে বর্ণিব তোমারও রচনা, কেমনে রটিব তোমারও করুণা. What is saying ki, how can I explain? How can I explain your creations? How can I describe your creations? How can I spread your kindness? So what he is trying to say is, as a devotee, he is trying to express that as an artist, I can see what you are creating. But how do I describe that to the people? I am so lost in it, or it is so beyond my capacity of explanation that how do I explain that? That's an exclamation by the author. কেমনে রটিব তোমার করুণা. Usually রটনা word is used aside rumors. So you spread rumors. Rotona is like that. It's usually used like that. But here he is using rotibo word near the word kindness. So he wants to spread how kind the divine is, but he is just not able to figure out how to do that. As an artist, actually the ultimate job of an artist is to do that only. And it is the ultimate fun, excitement, enjoyment, fulfillment to do that only, to be able to do that only. That is why this quote keeps on coming back to me again and again, that Swami Vivekananda had said, right, that it is science, it is religion, and it is art that takes you to the divine, that takes you to the divinity. I am not quoting the exact line, but this is what he almost meant. So these are the three ways to arriving at the truth, the ultimate truth. And hence you see how important art is. Art is not something just entertainment purpose. No, never, never, never. So yeah, I don't want to go into that topic. I become a little agitated in that aspect. But yeah, coming back, কেমনে গলাবো হৃদয় প্রাণ তোমারও মধুর প্রেমে. Now he first says that how can I describe what all your creations are, your creativity. How can I describe that? Next he says, how can I spread how kind you are, all your kindness, how can I spread that? Third he says, কেমনে গলাবো হৃদয় প্রাণ তোমারও মধুর প্রেমে. Next he says that how can I melt down the heart and the pran. Pran I do not know English translation of. So pran you understand. How can I melt my, not, he doesn't even say my heart. He just says heart and pran. So it means that he is individual ones and the others also. So he is including all of that. That is why he is not specifically mentioning that it's their heart, my heart, or our heart. He simply says, Kemone golabo hridoyo prano, tomaro modhuro preme. How can I melt down the heart and the prana in your sweet honey like love? In your honey love. Modhuro is, Modhur is, that word, right? So, Modhuro, how do I say that in English? We can say it as in sweet, but sweet is also not sitting correctly. I hope you get the, Modhur word ka, sense in this context. So, he is doing three things in this stanza. He wants to um, describe the creativity of God, but he doesn't know how to do that. Then he wants to spread the kindness of the divine, but he doesn't know how to do that. Then he wants to melt down the heart and pran in the sweet divine love of God, but he doesn't know how to do that. How beautiful, right? How beautiful. If you have not been that place, probably won't um, get uh, what he is trying to say in its deepest essence. But I think, you do not have to be a sun to know how sun rays really feel. You can just stand in the sun rays and get the heat and the light and still get what it stands for. So I'm sure the rays of this song is touching the skin of your heart, and you will be able to bask in it. That is what I am hoping. Nice lines, right? Poetic lines, right? তব নাম লয়ে চন্দ্র তারা অসীম শূন্যে ধাইছে. Now he starts to try to describe how do I say? He was initially not finding words to be able to describe the uh, creativity of God and all of that. Now he is picking up elements from nature to actually somehow help himself to describe that same thing. That is the to sing glory of the divine. He is trying to pick up different elements from the nature that we have also seen in our previous songs how Tagore used to do. That's a common way for him to, his own style of doing that. তব নাম লয়ে চন্দ্র তারা অসীম শূন্যে ধাইছে, meaning taking your name. It is by taking your name, the moon and the stars are, rushing into the empty space. We all know the space is empty, and it's only God knows what binds all of that planets, stars, the entire cosmos together, right? So it's such an empty space to think, it's very bizarre actually. But when you see the God element in it, you see that there's a point in all of it. So he's trying to point that out, that it is in your name, in the name of the divinity, that all the stars and the moons are all rushing in this endless empty space. রবি হতে গ্রহে ছড়িছে প্রেম, গ্রহ হতে গ্রহে ছাইছে. Now this part is also very beautiful. It tries to say that রবি হতে গ্রহে ছড়িছে প্রেম. He's trying to keep the sun as a star from which love is being love is reaching all the planet is reaching the planet. So it's he used the singular term here as a groho. Robi hote grohe ছড়িছে প্রেম, গ্রহ হতে গ্রহে ছাইছে. So as if the sun rays are touching one planet, and from one planet to the other it is spreading. So in a way, if you look at even the how the moon functions at night, right? So the moon only reflects what the sun is. Moon does not has a light of its own. So that's the light that is being reflected back to the earth. So that is what the love that sun is sending to moon, that is being propagated to earth during the night. So probably that dynamic you wanted to cover like that. It's a poetic style again. Oshimo Akash Neel Shototol. So the sky is also endless, right? It's blue and endless. Tomaro kirone shoda tholo tholo. So it is blue and it is endless, but it is in your light that it is always dholo dholo, means it is always, how do I say, dholo dholo does not have any translation. It's very specific to even Bengali usage. Two words coming together, dholo dholo, it's like this movement. Okay, so the wavy movement, you can say, in a way. So the livelihood, the life in it, you can also, it's not the literal meaning of it, but in essence it means like that. It's the liveliness, the life in the sky, in that limitless sky, finds its life because of your light. তোমারও অমৃত সাগর মাঝারে ভাসিছে অবিরামে. So in the endless ocean of your nectar, it is floating restless. You get that? Like even the sky, such a huge one, which is an endless one, which feels alive in the light of the divine, is floating like an endless ocean of nectar. It's floating like an it's floating in the endless ocean, in your nectar. Tomaro amrito sagoro মাঝারে, in your ocean of nectar, ভাসিছে অবিরামে. It is without any pause, without any rest. It is just floating. So কি গাবো আমি কি শোনাবো আজি আনন্দ থামে. So this is a very cute song, and it felt so right for the moment today, because whatever I do by God's grace in the name of art is basically a bahana, uh, just a how do I say bahana in English? Just I take chance through it to glance on God. You can say, to think about God, to talk about God, to know about God, the divine aspect of it, not a specific God is in which particular God, but the divinity overall. It really gives me a lot of happiness and joy by God's grace. I enjoy it a lot. So this song somehow talks about that particular enjoyment itself. That is what even Tagore is trying to do in this song, that he is trying to say that I'm bringing everyone in, I'm inviting everyone in here, but why do I invite them all? Because I have to perform something. Now what do I perform? I have actually invited them all in your name. But how do I now perform something about you, because you are so beyond my capacity? And having said that, like, it's simply, suppose you are mesmerized by a very chief guest you have invited in your room, and because this chief guest is coming, you have invited other people also around. Now when both the other people have also arrived and the chief guest also have arrived, and you are hosting the program, how would you address this chief guest in front of everyone else? exactly that same way this particular, you know, event is being hosted by Tagore in this particular song, where he is trying to address the chief guest, which is the divine, that I have invited them all because they have all come in because you are here. I have invited them saying that this chief guest is coming, so please do come. They have all arrived. Now, how do I introduce you to them? How? What do I say to them about you? Because you are so beyond my capacity. Your creativity is so beyond my capacity. Your kindness is so beyond my capacity. Your love is so beyond my capacity. All of it is so beyond my capacity. So this is exactly how you introduce your chief guests also, right? Then you start to actually get into trying to introduce a little bit whatever way you can, right? So in the third stanza we see that. So it's a very human way of trying to interact with the divine. um, and it's so beautiful. You see, it's a complete different setup altogether. The other songs that we have done, it's a different thing. So it's a different kind of feeling you have in your day-to-day life, in your interaction with the divine, that you share a private relationship, a personal relationship with. Those he is picking up storylines from there and creating songs, such beautiful songs. So it aptly suited today my session, and this is my song of the day. I hope you liked this song analysis again. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this song, and if it resonated with you in some way or the other, what in your life you feel connected with about this song, and what kind of a relationship you share with the divine. I'll be really glad to know about your own experiences as well, and I am really looking forward to have a community interaction on this. Having said that, 36 minutes into the video, thank you a lot for watching, sharing your valuable inputs also. So please do like, share, comment, and subscribe, and help us grow. And yeah, again, another thing that I really wish, that I really want to have that freedom at this point of time when I can easily claim to be an artist. So give me that, become that strength behind me, that I can take that leap by God's grace. It is the point of time now when you really want to live for a purpose of life, not just living like that. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.